So just so you know, thank you everyone for coming. I know we're gonna have a smaller group today. There's a ton of stuff going on tonight, but we are recording it for those of you who are joining us after the fact that it happened. If you just joined us, make sure that you write your name and your county in the chat. Also, if you have any questions, comments, you can unmute yourself, or you're more than welcome to write stuff in the chat. Sometimes that just tends to be easier. I do have the chat open, so I'll be able to see anything that you have a question about, and I will stop and answer them during this little training. So I want to thank you for joining me. This is one of my favorite trainings, mostly because it gives me the opportunity to really talk about all the awesome stuff that's happening in Wyoming 4-H, a lot of stuff that sometimes we don't realize is going on. And this focuses on stuff for our young people, not necessarily stuff for you as volunteers. Maybe we'll have to do a different one about that. But I'll put a quick plug in that September 27th to the 29th in Casper, we are doing a face-to-face 3-day volunteer training. Hopefully you'll have information in your county soon. Registration links are open. We just haven't shared the link yet, but it's going to be super exciting. We're going to have a lot of fun. So please feel free to join us September 27th to the 29th. So let's move on to talking a little bit about what you can do in the 4-H program that maybe is beyond the county, and also some stuff that might be county-based or regional-based. So I think we all kind of know, or maybe we don't, because maybe some of you are newer, that there's lots of levels that you can participate in 4-H. And most of us are really familiar with our club program. We go to our club meetings, we engage with people in our 4-H club through the fair and things that we do. But sometimes we don't realize or don't hear about the things that are happening beyond our club. So beyond the club, of course, is your county program. Most of you are probably engaged in some way, especially if you're at this training in your county program where you've seen people do different things. Maybe it's here in Albany County, you have tons of dances and tons of different things that are going on. But your county offers educational and social events for your young people. We also have a lot of stuff that happens at the regional level, and you may have seen this more as of late. We've been able to offer some teen summits here in the past couple of weeks, and they're doing some really cool trainings that are happening throughout the counties, but everybody in that area or even in the state are invited to see those. Then we have tons of opportunities, and we'll talk about those today at our state level. And in our 4-H program, we even have some national and international things. So how do you find out more about what's going on? At your club level, you need to attend your club meeting. So if you're not doing that, you're probably not going to be able to find out what's going on at your club meetings, because that's where they're going to talk about those things. If you can't make it to a meeting, I would highly suggest you figure out a way to contact your leader to find out what happened, or maybe another member that was in attendance at your meetings. Then if so that's the second one, is you can communicate with your club leader. And you could also use social media. So depending on what your club looks like, you may have a band app, or maybe you do a remind, or maybe you all text each other, whatever it is, you need to talk with your club leader to see what that looks like. But social media tends to be a great way for people to get stuff instantly on their phones or on their computers, which is how a lot of us have to live. The other thing I would suggest if you're newer, or if you have been around for a while, is become a mentor to another family, especially if they're new, because the world of 4-H can be very confusing. We talk in acronyms, sometimes things don't make sense. And so it's really good for us to be able to help people who are newer, or in turn, if you're new, please ask for help from a seasoned veteran family. And I hope if you're that veteran family that you offer that help up freely and willingly. If you're going to look for things about your county or region, your best thing is to read your newsletter. Some of you may not have newsletters, but there's going to be an online platform, maybe a website or emails that come out that have all that information in it. But sometimes they get to be a little cumbersome, but it's nice to know what's happening. We take at our house and we go through the newsletter and we circle things that we're interested in, maybe a different colored pens, depending on if it's for the kids or which kid, and then the parents. And then we put them on our calendar to know what's kind of happening. We also, most counties have a social media platform. Usually it's Facebook. That just seems to be what works pretty well, but some do also have Instagram or other ways that they communicate. I know that Campbell County has an enormous band or remind app that they use that's very engaging. So it just depends on your county. You'll need to find out what that is that they use to communicate. You're also going to get emails from your county educator, possibly even from countywide leaders. And you can always call the extension office and be sure to ask lots of questions. I've found that most of us have worked in 4-H. Some of us have worked in 4-H for a while, so we forget what questions people have. And so if you don't tell us what they are, sometimes we don't even realize that they're questions. And so asking those questions is super important, because I'm guessing if you have the question, so do a lot of other people in your county or even at the state level. So let's talk about what the state offers for finding out where stuff is. You can read your newsletter, because we send all of our information out to the counties. So hopefully they're putting that in there. We also have a Facebook page that we're going to look at the end of this training, just to show you what it looks like and what kind of things we put on there. We do have a state website. We're going to look at that also, that has all of our updates, and our admin keeps it pretty updated with the most recent things on the front page. And then within our website, we have a page that's called our opportunities page, which is where we put things that other counties in the state are doing to offer up to everybody. So I'll show you where that is. You can check that out also. And then, of course, you can contact your local 4-H office and ask them if they know of different opportunities, especially if it's project related, or if you've heard from something, you've seen it somewhere else, they should have knowledge of what those are and be able to help you navigate through them. So I'm going to go through some of the things that we offer that you may or may not have heard of, and talk to you a little bit about what it takes to engage with them and when they are. So our next event coming up is Wool and Meat Judging. Wool and Meat Judging is April 19th to the 20th here in Laramie. And so just so that you know, it's an individual contest. You do not have to be in a animal project or the sheep projects to be there. Anybody can come to Wool and Meat Judging. If you've never done it and you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to enroll, and your kid might be lost, but however, they can come and see what everybody's doing, and they can participate if they want to. Our wool contest is on Friday the 19th in the afternoon, evening time, and then we do meat judging on Saturday on campus, and then we give our awards after that. So once again, it's open to anybody. So if you haven't engaged in it and you want to just check it out, you're welcome to come down. If you pay the $15 fee, you can judge, and then you get a free lunch. And also there may be opportunities to talk to your local educator about maybe some online or in-person trainings that they could offer to you. And once again, there's no county qualification. Most of us don't have wool or meat contests within our local county. Some people do, but you don't have to go to those in order to qualify. There may be an opportunity if you want to be part of a county designated team that you would have to be going to their practices or their meetings. However, if you just want to come and check it out, you don't have to do that. One of our biggest events, which hopefully some of you have heard about, is called Showcase Showdown. Showcase Showdown is a time where you can come to UW and you can participate in contests. I think we have 11 or 12 different contests that happen within a 3-day period. And we also have tons of cool workshops. And you get to, if you want to stay on campus, you can stay in the dorms, or we do have hotel rooms that are blocked off for counties to possibly have. And then we have some social events that go with that. So some of the contests that we have at Showcase Showdown is we have a thing called Food Cook-Off. So Food Cook-Off, the next slide talks about it. It's a team contest. So you can get together with your neighbor or your friend, or maybe you have 2 kids are the same age group. Some age group information would be that our age groups are for teams are juniors, which are 8 to 13, and then our senior age youth, which are 14 and older. So normally within 4-H, we have junior, intermediate, senior. Because it's really hard for some of us to get, some of the counties that are smaller to get numbers, we combine our junior and intermediates together for teams, and we do a junior team division and a senior team division. So if you want to have this contest, you can get any kids together, 2 to 4 of them that are 8 to 13, or 2 to 4 kids together that are 14 and older. And you can send as many people from your county as want to come. So if you have 10 kids in your club and you want to form 5 teams, you are more than welcome to send all of them. It's not just one team per county. This competition will happen this year on Tuesday, which is a change from in the past. You actually pick your own recipe, so you can practice it at home around a certain theme. And I found out before we did this training that this year's theme is Disney. Last year's theme was movie night. And so you can make basically anything as long as you can somehow relate it to the theme of Disney. The cooking happens here on location. You use usually a hot plate or electric skillet to make the food, and then people judge it while it's being made, and then there's a tasting at the end. And if you are ages 14 and older and you win, you actually get to go to Dallas, Texas to the National 4-H Food Challenge, and the state provides $1,000 scholarship for you to do that. Just so kind of throwing this out there, last year we had 1 senior team compete. And so they obviously got to go to Dallas, Texas, because they were the only team that even was there. So if you have a desire to cook and you know some kids who are about that age that want to cook, it's a super easy way for them to possibly be able to win and be able to travel to Dallas, Texas with a really cool opportunity. So just wanted to throw that out there. The other thing that we do, we call this probably the easiest judging opportunity, is produce judging, and that's going to happen during Showcase Showdown. This is an individual contest, so anybody, once again, can come. You don't have to have gone to produce judging meetings. They do designate some teams for some awards, but if you didn't attend classes in your county and maybe they had a bunch of classes, then you probably wouldn't just be able to be part of a team, which is fine. This competition this year will happen on Thursday. You evaluate 8 classes of produce, which would be like lettuce. So there will be 4 heads of lettuce in front of you, and you pick the one that's best to worst, depending on what you think about it. They do strawberries. Sometimes they throw weird things in like edamame. But basically they have 8 classes of 4 of the same types of fruits or vegetables, and then you rate them based on if they have bruises on them, if they're all uniform, things like that. Then the younger members are asked questions about each of the classes. So they take some notes in the classes and answer those questions. And then those older members, which would be our senior age youth and intermediates, give some reasons. Or so they say, you know, I placed this group of lettuce with head of lettuce number 1 first because. So, and then there's also an ID line where they identify over 30 different types of produce. So to prep for this contest, you could do a lot of grocery store shopping and just kind of see what's going on. And it's kind of an easy way to introduce kids to livestock judging because fruits and vegetables are a little less intimidating than maybe a sheep or a steer. We also have our robotics contest. That's kind of a fun contest to even watch. And so it's a team contest, so you can have groups of 2 to 4 for this. It's going to happen Tuesday during the day is the mission challenge. And so those counties who have robots can order a mat and some materials, and then they prep from now until, because the mats are out, they went out this week, I think. So from now until the contest happens, and they program the robots to do a series of challenges. And then at night, they do the sumo contest. That's new this year. Normally it's during the day too, but it's kind of going to be our showcase event. And the sumo contest would be like robot wars, where they try to, there's no blades or anything, but they try to knock each other off a platform. And so they kind of like run at each other to try to get them outside of a circle. It's super fun to watch. And the kids really, really like that. Then we have our cake decorating contest. This is going to happen on Wednesday. This year, starting this year, it's an individual contest only, so there's no teams, which there used to be. But basically, you decorate a foam cake around a competition, around a theme that's announced that day. And so we provide the foam cakes and as much white frosting as you want, but then from your county, you need to bring it additional coloring if you want to put like candies on it or whatever, and then your tips, your bags, all that kind of stuff that would go with cake decorating. And I talked to a few counties, and a lot of them are buying some of those supplies. And so if it's something you're interested in, talk to your county educator. They may actually be able to help you provide this stuff if you don't have it already. With the juniors and the intermediates, the 8 to 13-year-olds, coach or an adult or a parent or whoever can help them for the first 5 minutes with frosting the cake. And then you get 5 minutes to help them plan what they're going to do on the cake. Additionally, I think we don't have all of these laid out, but we do have a livestock skill-a-thon contest, horse judging, hippology, dog skill-a-thon, table setting, and presentations. And so I actually going to go over a little bit of what those look like. So your livestock skill-a-thon contest is a really cool contest if you have a kid who's maybe a little bit more shy and doesn't want to engage at a high level. The cool thing about this contest is it's a team contest. So they go to separate stations and answer questions together. So 3 to 5 kids can just hang out together and all answer the questions together. So once again, if you have a kid who's really not, sure of themselves, this is a great way to put them with some other kids that maybe they could all work together and answer the questions versus having to do it alone. This contest will happen Tuesday afternoon, and they put different materials all over on tables in a room, and the kids go around and they get sheets, and junior teams, which would be 8 to 13-year-olds, get word banks so they can fill in the sheets. And then those senior age kids, 14 and older, have to just fill in the blanks without a word bank. So they might identify breeds of different kinds of animals. They might identify different types of feeds, equipment, and then they have like a group practicum or a group problem that they all work through to solve. And From this, if you have a senior age team that gets first or second, they get $1,000 for the first team, and then $750 for the second team to go to a national contest if they want. And we don't have a ton of seniors that participate. So once again, this is a great way to get a group of kids together if you are interested in traveling and doing things at a national level. Horse judging is just what it says. They judge horses. This contest happens Wednesday afternoon. The youth will evaluate halter and performance classes, and then juniors will answer questions, and intermediates and seniors answer questions, and then seniors give reasons. We do give, again, top 3 seniors get money to go to national trips. Hippology is kind of another way that if you have horse kids, you can do 2 contests in one day. So in the morning, there is a team contest, kind of like livestock skill-a-thon. So kids can get together in groups of 2 to 5, and they can answer questions similarly to what they do at livestock skill-a-thon, where they're kind of in a group and they go around to different stations and they answer different questions based on what's there at the table. Dog Skill-a-thon is both a team and individual contest. So if you just have one kid that wants to come because they love dogs, this is a great contest and pretty small contest, so it's easy to be able to be successful. They have 4 parts to their contest: Jeopardy section. They identify breeds of dogs, and then they identify the parts of the dog, and then they have a hands-on scenario that the kids work together to answer, or individually if they don't have a team. So it's kind of an easy one. If you have this, may be a little bit more in tune with some of our kids that don't do livestock. Maybe they like dogs or they're engaged in the dog project. So this would be a great way for them to get involved. So if you have a dog project in your county, maybe think about spending some time each meeting, or even dedicate a couple of meetings a month to practicing or getting ready for the Dog Skill-a-thon contest. Table setting is another easy contest to engage in. It's an individual contest. And so they basically put together a table setting for a meal that they pick. So they can pick that they want to do dinner with their grandma, or maybe they want to do a birthday party lunch. And so they basically set one table setting for what that would look like, based on making sure they follow like where the knives, the forks, the napkins go. And then they provide a menu, no food here, so it's pretty easy, but they provide a menu to be able to tell them what would be served.
Go ahead.
All right, and the last contest we talk about is presentation. This is an individual contest. We've had teams before, but most of the time it's individual. And so there's 2 different contests. One is impromptu. For that contest, they draw 3 topics out of a hat, and then they have 3 more minutes to organize their thoughts, and then they go give a speech. Or you can do a prepared content speech, and it can be at anything that you want it to be. Doesn't even have to be 4-H related. Last year, my daughter did one on sharks, because that's her favorite animal. And then she did one on rocks because she really likes rocks. And so it was maybe related to some 4-H stuff, but it wasn't really anything that she does in 4-H. It's just some things that she likes to talk about. And there are awards, again, for the top 2 seniors to get leadership trip scholarships if they compete in this. So that kind of wraps up Showcase Showdown. They also have awesome workshops. These are the ones that are so far happening this year. Makerspace, there's some ones where you go to Makerspace. They're doing a fashion workshop, freezer jam, a barn quilt, quilting on papercraft, square dancing, leadership, and then there'll be tons more. So that information should be released here within the next 2 weeks to let you know what's going on and when those workshops are happening throughout that 18th to 20th. All right, this got left in here an accident. I don't know if we're having horse camp. I think it might be happening, but it will not be happening in June. So please ignore that. I think it might be happening in September or October. So watch for more on that. We do have a new position here that deals specifically with livestock and horses. And so I think that person's going to try to revitalize that program. All right, then we have State Shoot. It's our largest program in the entire state. We have tons and tons, over 500 kids that come to Douglas, July 11th to the 14th. The contest is for individuals and then the county's designate team. So again, anybody can come to this and you can bring as many teams as you want. However, you do have to be in 4-H shooting sports to engage in this one. It's not like the other ones where you don't have to be enrolled. And in order to get to state, you have to be deemed safe by your county requirements. So if you want to come to State Shoot, I would ask what those county requirements are, because for each county, they might be a little bit different. There's competition held in all shooting disciplines, and you can camp on site, which I know is like a big, lots of fun stuff happening, lots of water fights and things that happen there, or the dorms are available for a very, very cheap rate. I think it's like $10 a night. We have a dance on Saturday, and then we do awards on Sunday. And I think we're trying to throw in maybe a meal or something this year. It's kind of hard, but, and then senior age kids can qualify to go to Raton, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, or they can even qualify to represent Wyoming at the National 4-H Shooting Sports Competition. So here's the Raton, New Mexico trip. This happens in September. And basically they go to Raton, New Mexico. They stay at the Huntington Center, the NRA Center, and the youth, some of our leaders go down with them and they bring tons of different types of random guns. And so they basically get the opportunity to shoot all kinds of different things that they might not get to shoot otherwise. And then they also get to hang out with other kids their age that are interested in the shooting sports program. So it's kind of a fun way for them to engage in that. We started going to National Shoot officially as a state about 2 years ago. And so we select this through your performance at State Shoot. We send 8 different teams, so that's about 32 kids, 4 kids per team. And this is open to senior age youth ages 14 to 18. And so after State Shoot, we'll contact the kids that were the top 4 of their division and ask them as long as they age qualify, because some kids will have aged out by the time that they would go because they actually participate the next summer. So our kids from last year's State Shoot are going to the National Shoot in June of this year. And so then they have an opportunity for a year to practice because the State Shoot stuff is a little bit more, there's a lot more going on there than there would be at State Shoot. And this is held in Grand Island, Nebraska. Then we have our State Fair activities. So one of the first things we do at State Fair is livestock judging. And so this contest is for individuals and then counties designate teams. It's going to be held Tuesday of the State Fair. And they're going to evaluate beef, sheep, swine, and goats. Some of those are from State Fair. A lot of them we bring in individually. Just like our other contests, juniors answer questions, intermediates answer questions and give reasons, and seniors give reasons. And then the top 3 teams of seniors have the opportunity to travel to national events. We also have our state fashion review at State Fair. It's usually held at the high school in Douglas. So this is an individual contest. We actually have 2 different types. And so if you're not a sewer, you can actually do our ready to wear contest. And so this is for anybody who likes to dress up or wear clothes or get a bargain. There's a lot of talk about bargain shopping, how your clothes fit, how you accessorize them. So it's a kind of a fun idea if your kids don't love to sew but still want to maybe be interested in this. And then there's also one for things that the youth construct, and they can enter both if they want to, but they would only model one at the public show. So judging happens Friday and Saturday of State Fair. Then there's a fashion show Saturday evening, and the top 2 seniors in each category can win trip scholarships, and everybody can win awards. The top 10 kids get ribbons and awards. Other things that happen at State Fair that you can participate in that are 4-H sponsored. We can, and just so you know, there may be different opinions at your county level. However, there's no need to qualify for any State Fair show except for the horse show. Usually requires a qualification, and the dogs require a safety cert. And if they also need to qualify for whatever obedience level or rally or agility level they're doing. But anybody can come to the State Fair. You just have to have shown something at your county fair, not even the thing that you're bringing. So you could show a plate of cookies at the county fair and then show your steer at the State Fair if you want to. So, and then also you have to qualify your static exhibits and things inside come through your county fair. So I think a lot of counties require you to get a purple or a blue State Fair ribbon if you want to do that. So we also have a leadership team. This is again for senior age young people. So you'll see a lot of things kids have to wait till they're 14 to participate at the state level, but it's a good incentive to keep kids engaged. And so these young people are the face of the Wyoming 4-H program. They attend state activities, events, and fundraisers. They work to teach workshops and they work to promote 4-H. They meet with the governor. They meet with lots of representatives. They have a day down in Cheyenne, government day, to go and hang out with people and talk about the 4-H program. So it's a really cool way for young people who want to share their 4-H experience to engage in the leadership team. And usually we have anywhere from 6 to 8 youth depending on the year. Young people can attend Citizenship Washington Focus, and this is obviously in Washington, D.C., and it's held in June. I believe that applications for that may have just closed. So if you have someone who wants to go next year, applications usually close in March. They go and they meet kids from other states, and it's a super awesome way to tour Washington, D.C. with other kids. And each group is assigned a young person that's in a college that hangs out with them and talks to them and tells them all about Washington, D.C. We had a group that just went to Ignite. Ignite is the newest 4-H opportunity for young people ages 14 to 18. And it's also held in Washington, D.C. So the young people take workshops to explore items of healthy living, STEM, agriculture, or career readiness. And this year there was 1,300 kids there that were in 4-H. So it's a pretty cool way to meet other kids and gain some new experiences. And for a lot of our Wyoming kids, they get to experience lots of humidity, which is different. And they also get to see the nation's capital, which isn't something they get to do very often. So it's really cool. They got to meet with Senator Loomis's office, and she took them on a tour. And so there's lots of ways to engage through the Ignite program. And then there's also an activity called National 4-H Conference that's held here in April. I believe we have 2 youth going next month to this. And it's really focused on government processes and policy development. So if you have kids who want to make change, really are into change, making change projects, this is a really cool one to send them to, because they actually get a problem and they work together as a group to solve it. Not a group from Wyoming, a group from the United States that are in 4-H, get together like 20 or 30 kids. And then they actually have the opportunity to present their policy change to some high-ranking officials. I got to chaperone this once and it was really cool. And they actually got to meet with the person that is in charge of the National Guards at the national level, and they talked to him about Operation Military Kids and what their ideas were for engaging young people from military families in the 4-H program. So they really get to do some cool stuff, and really some of the things that they've offered up as suggestions have actually happened. One of my favorite trips that I ever went on as a kid and got to send my kid on and got to chaperone is National 4-H Congress. This one's held in November, so watch closely if you're looking to go to this one. It is for youth ages 14 to 18, but if you have a 13-year-old now, they could actually go because they don't go until November of next year. It's held in Atlanta, Georgia, and the focus is on diversity and community service. Some of the guest speakers, Miss America usually comes. Up until about 3 years ago, one of the only Holocaust survivors was there. When I was there, Oprah Winfrey's husband was the guest speaker. It's just a really cool, they're treated pretty well, and it's kind of fun to be able to engage at a high level. They also do community service within the Atlanta area. They sometimes go to schools and do programming in the schools, or they might go to the food bank, or they clean up some of the local parks. And they have one evening where they get to try foods from all over the world, and also have a dance experience where they teach them dances from all over the world. So really fun trip. We also offer cross-cultural, also maybe previously known as international opportunities. So this one was to Mongolia. So this is, again, for the older young members, but something to look forward to, and maybe something to save your money for, because they're pretty expensive. But this year they're going to Belize and Hawaii, which is why it became cross-cultural, because Hawaii is not international, but definitely a different experience. And then next year, if you have kids that are interested in going, I believe the applications are due April 1st, so you'll want to get those in. And then kids are selected based on numbers, and they'll be going to Italy or to Finland. So some cool opportunities like there also. We also have, these are some opportunities for young people that maybe aren't older. So we do offer a new series called Food, Fun, and 4-H. And so basically, if you sign up, you get monthly recipes and educational materials that go with the recipes to prepare with your family at home. If you prepare 2 dishes for the month from the recipes, they actually send you a free kitchen item. And it's a great way to promote family time and cooking. So I'll show you where you can sign up for that if you're interested in that. We also do a 307 judging series. So youth attend contests throughout the state to accumulate points. And then the people with the most points, with State Fair being the last contest, have the opportunity to be part of the all-state team. And then the all-state team that seniors travel to a national contest together. We have some teen summits. I think 2 of these already happened. So if you have a youth ages 13 to 18, the one here that's kind of in the white is still left, May 4th to 5th in Casper. Just because it's in that region, the central region, anybody can go to that. So if you have some kids that are 13 to 18 that want to go learn more about etiquette or leadership, running a meeting, those kind of things, this would be a great way for them to engage. The one in the Southeast happened March 9th already, and the Northwest was last weekend. Other things that we do offer college scholarships. So engaging in these opportunities will let you do that. Those are usually due in February. If you have some college-age kids who want to continue to engage in the 4-H program, or maybe you know somebody in your area who is looking for a job this summer, we do offer AmeriCorps opportunities for college students or adults in every single office. So a lot of offices haven't hired anybody yet, so please reach out if you're interested in that. We do some shooting fundraisers that anybody can come to. The Boulder Big Draw in Pinedale is a pretty popular one for a lot of our 4-H members to go to. That's usually held Father's Day weekend. We do the Platte River Shootout here by Saratoga, and that is usually the second or third weekend in July, depending on when state shoot is. And then the Alpine Apache shoot is at UCross, and that is usually the last weekend in July. Additionally, counties host lots of experiences for regional or state participation. And I'm going to go through a couple of those right now. If you didn't know, a lot of reason we don't have anybody, some people here tonight is Virtual Career Night is happening as we speak. So that's a really cool thing where they bring in, this year, the Peterson brothers, who are the famous parody singers, are talking to young people about how to engage or how to explore different careers, along with a whole bunch of other people. They can choose different breakout rooms to learn about careers. That happens every year in March. There's a shooting sports jackpot in Gillette on April 6th that anybody's welcome to come to. There's some new things that are happening statewide called Project Paloozas, where you go and learn about specific project areas. On April 6th, there's a creative arts one in Lusk. And then on April 13th, there's a small animal one in Casper. And then maybe something else you might want to do is there's a catch a calf opportunity. And so you sign up for that the year before, then you get a calf at your house for a year, then you go show it at the Denver Stock Show. And those are due December 15th for next year's participation. So after this, I promise I'm going to go show you where all this stuff is located so you can go find it. But what, as a leader, are we hoping that you take from this? I hope you help us make youth aware of opportunities. I've heard many times, I didn't know that was happening, or I didn't know that was something I could do. And the only way that we can share this is through word of mouth, because no matter how many emails we send out or how many Facebook posts we make, as leaders and as people who maybe have had these experiences, you are the best way for us to advertise these things to other people. So please work. And I always tell people, like, there are things you think, oh my goodness, this person would really enjoy this. Reach out to them directly and say, hey, listen, did you see this announcement? I think you would really enjoy going to National Congress. You really seem to be a person who cares about the government and you want to make change. I hope that you apply and I will help you with whatever you need. And so making kids aware and then encouraging them to attend. And the personal encouragement is huge. If they need help with fundraising, please help them, or put them with your county educator, other people in your county that can help them with fundraising. Please don't let money stand in your way. We work out payment plans. We do lots of things because some of these experiences are very expensive. Maybe you could coach a team. Maybe you could bring some kids to Showcase Showdown who want to do table setting because that's something you feel confident in. Or maybe you can help find a coach that's going to teach them about wool judging and bring a group down for wool judging. You can also serve as a chaperone, go on these activities and events with these young people so that they have supportive adults going with them. And then always invite those kids who have gone somewhere to come to one of your club meetings and talk about it. Because once again, that word of mouth thing is going to be the easiest way for us to get kids to engage in the project. If they hear from other kids or other people that it wasn't scary, that it was really fun, that they liked it, it's going to be much more easy to get them to engage in that way. All right, so now I'm going to take a closer look as to where we're going to find this. So I'm going to stop my share of this screen and I'm going to go to a couple of our websites. So here is our Facebook page. We do a contest every year who gets to be on the cover. So watch for that coming up during National 4-H Week. But this is where we post everything. So you can see right now we're offering some of the things that are happening is you can learn how to AI your cattle. This is the group that went to Ignite. So we have pictures of what their experience was like to let them know. We have highlights of all of a Showcase Showdown contests. Here's this training that's happening. They just started a new series where they're going to highlight different counties, so you can check that out too. But the easiest way, if you don't get on Facebook very often, is if you click the See All Photos. Usually most of our stuff is in a flyer to advertise it, so you can go through and you can kind of see all the pictures of things and I'm signed in as the Wyoming 4-H program, so it's going to look a little different for you, but you can see I was talking about the virtual career night. So here's the flyer for that one. And then also those Project Paloozas. So here's the small animal one that's happening on the 13th. And here's how you can register. The fee is $10. You register through Z Suites. And then this is the one for the creative arts. So that's kind of how I found those things, is they're listed on our Facebook page. If you don't have Facebook, don't worry, there's other ways you can find stuff out, and that would be through our website. So here's our website. And if you scroll down, it's kind of slow today. Here's where I told you that our admin does a really good job keeping you updated on the stuff that's going on and post the most recent stuff here on our page. So as you can see, she has the career night, tonight's training, the Fair to Fork program, which is where you can donate a pig to the Wyoming Hunger Initiative, wool judging, national shoots, all the stuff that we've kind of talked about is all listed here. Don't know why it's so slow right now. Oops, this up. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I'm showing you the right stuff. Okay, so then in order to find a lot of the opportunities I talked about, you're gonna go under this. Sorry, my screen is a little crazy today. This current members tab is the easiest way to find everything. You can look in other ways, but this is the easiest one to go to. And then there's this opportunities page. And here's, I was telling you, we have one with all the opportunities that counties are offering, and we asked them to put that on there. To get to that, you are going to click on, I know it doesn't make sense, and I'm not sure why it says this, but you're going to click on this project learning tab. And this is our opportunities page. And so we ask counties, you guys can post stuff on here, or you can tell us to post stuff on here. But this is basically a way to talk about anything that's happening, and it's broken down by categories. So there might be animal science. I really hope that expresses, so the Project Palooza is there. My guess is that the one about creative arts is also under healthy living because it includes foods and nutrition and food preservation. So here's, we should put our teen summits there, but we don't have them there. I'm guessing maybe the shooting sports one is here. So that's how you can go and see what's going on. And under the animal science one is also all of the 307 judging series information and the 307 show series. So there's, and then also sometimes people put the sales that are happening. So if you're looking to buy animals, this is the page where anything that comes to us that's a flyer about this stuff, we put it here on this page. So I just wanted to show you that because sometimes people don't know that exists. I have to go back. All right, and then I was talking about the state contest. So if you want rules and more information about all those contests we talk about, all the ones that happen at Showcase Showdown, you click here. Wool judging, meat judging, state shoot, and our livestock judging, and fashion review is going to be under state fair. So that's where those are located, and they have all the rules listed there for you to check out. These state opportunities are going to be some of those things that we talked about that aren't necessarily trips or contests. I don't think the youth deer hunt is happening. We lost the land that we were hunting on. If we do have horse camp, this is where we put up. If you want to participate in that food, 4-H, and fun that I talked about, here's that link. Also, the different leadership teams, how to engage in that. They're all listed here under state opportunities. And then the last one is the travel one. And so here's those trips, that CWF, Citizenship Washington Focus, National Congress, Conference, Ignite, and then those cross-cultural experiences. We have Roundup on here to show the results, but Roundup has changed a lot, and so there's not an opportunity to travel to Roundup unless you do it as a judging team. Those are probably the two easiest ways for you to get information about our programs. We do try to post on Facebook pretty regularly, and we try to keep this and that homepage as updated as we can. You can also click on this opportunities and it'll take you to some of those same pages, but I always think the current members one is the easiest way to find everything. And then also knowing what's happening most recently is going to be the stay in the know one. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope that you learned something new. And once again, I'm just going to remind you, if you haven't written your name in the chat, please do so that we can keep track of who was here and also your county. And then please, if you have other opportunities you want to share, please put those in the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself and tell us about them. Or if I missed something, or if you have a question about anything I talked about, I would love to tell you more about anything that was listed, because I am excited to hopefully get lots of kids to engage in all this cool stuff that we do.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah,
Nice sweatshirt too.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you saw me
Bye.
make those. That's right. All right, I'm going to stop sharing.